Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to click that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. I would like to give a special thanks to Mercedes-Benz of Cutler Bay for giving me time with the 2022 Mercedes-Benz C300 sedan. If you're in the market for a Mercedes, you can come check out Mercedes-Benz of Cutler Bay and ask for Lewis. He will get you into a new or pre-owned vehicle. But let's talk about pricing here for the C300. Starting price is at $43,550, including destination. Also with the options, this one stickers for $52,235. If you guys are looking for an affordable S-Class in a sense, I think the C300 is definitely worth the price, because keep in mind the S-Class can be nearly in the six-figure range. But let's talk about the front styling here of the C300. Looking at the exterior styling here for this all-new generation of C-Class, as you guys can see, my model is painted in this nice silver exterior color. It looks really good with the chrome accents throughout this vehicle. This vehicle reminds me of a shrunken version of the S-Class. This vehicle does offer new technology, a new powertrain, new transmission. Mercedes make this vehicle longer and wider for this new generation here. But looking at these taillights here, they're going to be an LED projector headlight with an automatic low and high beam, which is an LED. Also with this LED turn signal here, unfortunately, it does not have a sequential finish to the turn signal, but it's a LED. This is part of the LED headlight performance family. Looking here at the three-pointer Mercedes emblem here front and center, there's a front-facing camera. You get another logo on top of the hood here. More chrome accents, that's front parking sensors. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the C300 here. I think it looks very elegant. Like I mentioned, it's just a shrunken down version of the S-Class. But looking at the side profile here, this has a 112.8-inch wheelbase with an overall length of 187 inches. So like I mentioned, Mercedes did make this vehicle longer for this current generation, and they did make this vehicle wider as well. Looking at these tires and wheels here, I'm not a big fan here of the 5-spoke finish, but it does look really good with the silver exterior color. And these are a 225/40 P0 tire. They're wrapped in this 19-inch rim design. Like I mentioned, I'm not a big fan of the 5-spoke finish, but it does look really good with the exterior color. Looking at the mirror cap, there's this LED sight marker here on the mirror cap. There's more chrome on the door handles, around the window trim, and there's this panoramic sunroof here. Unfortunately, this area right here does not open, just this portion of the glass opens. It does have this black finish to the actual panoramic sunroof here. Looking at these taillights here, they're full LED, which is the turn signal, brake light, and reverse light. There's a three-pointer Mercedes emblem there. There's also this integrated rear spoiler here. There's a C300 badge. Looking down here, there's going to be rear parking sensors, also with dual tip exhaust. Open up the cargo bag here. This is a power opening trunk. As you guys can see, once it opens up, it reveals 12.6 cubic feet of space. You can also fold down the seats via this control here. As you guys can see, the seat will fold down, but the passenger seat is kind of pushed back a little bit, so that's why the seat didn't fold down. You can also do it from the side too as well, and the driver's seat is kind of pushed back as well. But looking here, there's going to be this cargo net off to the side, and underneath here, Mercedes does give you some underfloor storage, also with a first aid kit. But let's hop into the interior and see what Mercedes has to offer for the new C-Class. Before getting into the interior of the all-new C300, looking at the current key fob here, this is the same key fob that Mercedes-Benz used on the all-new S-Class. I like the UFO-like key fob here. It looks really nice. It does feel nice to hold in your hands. This is how you lock the vehicle, unlock it, and that's also a power button there to open up the cargo back there. We'll open up the door here. As you guys can see, look at this cabin, guys. Really nice cabin. This is a mini version of the S-Class. This is a 12.3-inch display here. You also have this 11.9 center display there, and it does support wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you don't have to buy the $100,000 S-Class or EQS if you guys want wireless CarPlay. But getting inside the C300 here, really good step in height. And to start up the vehicle, just press the start-stop button right here on the actual dash. Once you guys do that, everything will turn on, and you're greeted by these large displays here, which show very bright. But reach over here to shut the door of the C300. The door sounds very solid. Looking at the materials here, really nice upscale materials that Mercedes use. I wouldn't expect nothing less. There's your lock controls here with this real metal accented door handle. There's your seating controls here, just like the S-Class. So you have to put a lot of pressure in order to move the seat back and forth and whatnot. There's 3-person memory seats. There's 3-level heated and cool seats here. The cool seats blow really nice air. There's this metal speaker cover here. It is automatic up and down for all 4 windows. You can power fold the mirrors in via this control here. As you guys can see, they will retract in and out. There's large storage space here. Your trunk release button is down there. Your headlight controls are here. Electronic parking brake. As you guys can see, very bright, beautiful ambient lighting. There's the turn signal and wind wiper stock here. This is how you put the vehicle into drive and reverse by switching up on the stock. It does show you a nice top-down 360 view there. There's also trajectory with distance markers. There's front and rear parking sensors, just like the S-Class. Really nice technology here Let me see if it let me basically do a perimeter scan around the vehicle. I think it doesn't let me do it. Let me see. Oh, there we go. As you guys can see here, very nice technology. I wouldn't expect nothing less from Mercedes because they're very upscale. This also has parking assist as well, so this vehicle will park itself. But putting the vehicle into drive to switch down on the stock and to go into park, you press the P button. This is the same steering wheel that's off the new S-Class. There's paddle shifters for the 9-speed auto. You can also mess with the display here by using this touch sensitive area over here. You can go to home via this button right here. Like I mentioned, it's going to be a touch sensitive panel here. There's a 3-pointed Mercedes logo here in the actual airbag cover here, and this controls over here is for the screen right here that you can also mess with here, so you guys can have like a classic look to the gauge. You just have to just swipe your finger over here. No, just swipe your finger over here. As you guys can see, you can do plenty of things with the actual display here, which is really nice. You can show a custom, a classic, or a sport gauge. There's also for your driver's assistant controls here. And my model also has this very bright heads-up display, which shows very crisp. I like the new air vents in here. The materials on the dash can be a soft touch ejection molded plastic. There's this frameless mirror here. There's more beautiful ambient lighting throughout this vehicle. You get in the actual door pocket, around the door handle, on the footwells and whatnot. And this wood-like trim here behind the infotainment system here. It looks to be real, but I'm not sure. It has this gloss finish to it, but it does look really nice in this cabin. There's some aluminum-like trim here on the actual dashboard. As you guys can see, this is their new infotainment system here. So this doesn't have that old MBUX anymore. So it has a newer technology, just like the new S-Class. You can say, "Hey, Mercedes." And sometimes she pops up, sometimes she doesn't. "Hey, Mercedes.
How can I help?
Can you show me to the nearest gas station?" And once she does that, she will show you turn-by-turn navigation. And it will list the number of gas stations or how many gas stations are in your area. There's some close, there's some that's far. "Hey, Mercedes, cancel navigation."
Please repeat.
Cancel navigation. As you guys can see, she will cancel it and whatnot. But going back here to the interface here, going here to information here, as you guys see, you can go to vehicle. You can go to engine here. It shows you the torque and the power and the boost pressure and whatnot, your temperature and your oil. So there's different things that you guys can customize here with this infotainment system here. But let's go to comfort here. You can mess with the ambient lighting. There's like 64 different colors, and they show very bright. It's broad daylight here, and as you guys can see really quickly here, once the color changes, it does show you this bright orange or red color here. You can also do a multicolor if you like. You can do the jungle green. As you can see, it still shows here in the bright sunlight here, which is really beautiful. I just like the interior lighting that Mercedes uses here on the C-Class, just like the S-Class. But going back here, you can go to media, you can mess with the radio settings, navigation. But let's go to the Apple CarPlay here. It's really nice to finally see that Mercedes is trickling down all the features that they had in the S-Class and EQS down to their lower models now. And the touch response is just super beautiful. This is an 11.9-inch display. You can also turn off the automatic start-stop function here at the lower part of the start-stop button right there. All this is going to be a touch-sensitive panel down here. You can mess with the drive mode selector, which shows you eco, comfort, sport, and individual. So there's only 4 different drive modes here. You can also access the camera via that button right there. As you guys can see, once you press it, it does show you around the vehicle as well. So really nice graphics and tech that Mercedes offers. There's shortcut buttons here for the vehicle settings. There's a hazard button here. Go back here. You can basically have Mercedes pop right up instead of saying, "Hey, Mercedes." You can turn off the screen there. There's this touch area here for the volume control and whatnot. Like I showed you guys the current key fob. You can also press this button here. It does it does pop out. So if you guys have smaller drinks, it can grip the drinks. Or if you guys have larger drinks, you can just push it back in. My iPhone 13 Pro Max does fit in the wireless phone charger. It does charge my phone very quickly, believe it or not. There's a Type-C port, and you guys can close this off if you want someone to see where your phone and stuff is at. There's 2 cup holders, like I mentioned. This area is going to be nice and padded. Open it up, it does reveal a good amount of storage. There's 2 Type-C ports in there. Nice stitching here. The seats in here, I like the futuristic looking headrest. It looks very nice to me, in my opinion. You can also adjust them and whatnot. As you guys can see, you can adjust them via this button right here, or area right here. And above me, there's this large panoramic sunroof here. It does let light into the cabin, but there's this bar here that kind of eats into the actual lighting here, but it does offer a nice view that Mercedes gives you from the panoramic sunroof. The seats in here, they're supportive and comfortable. The passenger also has 3 level heated and cooled seats. The cooled seats, like I mentioned, they do blow They do blow very cold air. And above me, there's this touch sensitive area here. Once you swipe your finger, it does open up the large glass here. Unfortunately, the rear glass does not open, like I mentioned, from the outside scene, but this does let a lot of light and air to the cabin. But unfortunately, it just stops right here, but it still lets more light and air into the cabin with it open. You can also close it back just by swiping your finger there, and it closes very quickly here. You can also close the shade if you would like. Also, there's some controls up here for your SOS and whatnot. Also more of that beautiful LED lighting in the cabin. Open this up, it does reveal a 2-tier storage. It's not lined with felt, but it does offer a good storage for the glove box. Well, overall, this interior here does offer really nice upscale vibes, just like the S-Class, but it does do it at a really good price point. Getting into the back seat here of the C300 sedan, as you guys can see, plenty of space to get into the back seat. The door opens at a really good angle. The materials here are going to be a nice material. There's this beautiful ambient lighting here. You can change the ambient lighting to 64 different colors, if not more than that. There's your lock controls here. This real metal accented door handle. I like the nice metal speaker cover here. Large storage space here for a cup holder and storage. There's also this aluminum finish here around the switchgear controls. This area is going to be nice and padded. But getting back here, like I mentioned, guys, this is a sedan, and I'm only 5'8". I do have a good amount of headroom here, even with this large panoramic sunroof cutout. There is LED lights up here by the grab handle, but shutting the door here, the door sounds very solid. There's also 2 air vents back here, a little bit of storage. You get more storage down here. I'm surprised that Mercedes didn't put any charging ports like they normally do on the rest of their products, but there's this large hump here. Keep in mind, you sit someone here that you don't like, maybe a small child, they will sit here just fine, especially on a long road trip. There's 2 mat pockets back here for storage. Pulling this armrest down here, it does reveal 2 cup holders, but for some reason I can't pull this out anymore. But you can make this a little storage space for your phone. My iPhone 13 Pro Max kind of fits, but I do have a thick case here on my phone. This area is going to be nice and padded. You can also fold the seats down to put things in the actual cargo area if you guys would like. And Mercedes says this has 36 inches of rear legroom, so it does offer a good amount of space here in the back seat. Let's talk about the powertrain specs here for the all-new C300. Open up the hood here. This has Mercedes-Benz 2-liter 4-cylinder as a mild hybrid system, so it has an EQ boost. This powertrain makes 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. It's hooked up to a 9-speed automatic transmission, which is very fast to shift. We'll talk about that in the actual test drive. As this vehicle sits here, it weighs in around 3,800 pounds. Fuel economy is rated at 25 in the city, 35 on the highway, and 29 combined. So starting off in the 2022 Mercedes-Benz C300, this has an all-new powertrain for 2022. This is a 2-liter 4-cylinder. This powertrain makes 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. It's hooked up to a new transmission, which is a fast-shifting 9-speed automatic that Mercedes is known for. Beautiful, beautiful transmission. Let's put this vehicle into its sport mode here. I'm gonna go back here. As you guys see, it's in sport mode. It's a 4-cylinder. It has adequate power. It moves the vehicle very smoothly here. The 9-speed knows to be the meter of its power band. This also has beautiful walls of screen here. Also have this bright display here in front of you. This large infotainment system. Now, this is the 3rd Mercedes-Benz product that's available as of now. You have the EQS, which has wireless CarPlay. You have the new S-Class, which has wireless CarPlay. And now this has wireless CarPlay as well. So Mercedes is basically trickling down all the new tech from the S-Class to the rest of their lineup, which is just super impressive. I like the bright screens that this vehicle offers. The visibility out this vehicle is really good. You can see around this A-pillar here. It's a little thick, but you can see around it. The size, the mirrors here are a good size. This also has blind spot monitoring, lane keeping assist, emergency braking, forward collision warning, all the nice driver's assistant features that you guys look for in this luxury segment. This vehicle drives really well. Like I mentioned, it's in the sport mode here, and it just moves this vehicle very good. And I like the power effort. I don't feel like the vehicle is struggling to move the mass of this vehicle here. But it drives really well. The seat comfort in here is really good. You also have 3-level heated and cooled seats. The cool seats blow really good cold air here, especially right now. It's probably like 90 degrees outside, and it blows really good air. I mean, it's a 4-cylinder, so I'm not gonna ding the sound of the powertrain, because it's a 4-cylinder. All 4 cylinders, they're known basically to drone, but it does make up for that in the fuel department place here, whereas this vehicle is ready to get 25 in the city, 35 on the highway. So it does get good gas mileage here. And like I mentioned, I like the way this vehicle drives. It drives really good. Right now, with the full tank of gas, it's saying that this vehicle has a cruising range of 260 miles, which is just super impressive. And I also like the nice tech in this vehicle. You also have this bright heads-up display. You also have these large screens, like I mentioned, supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can say, hey, Mercedes. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So let me try it again. Hey, Mercedes. Okay, now she's not working. But before I started the video, she was always coming on every time I said Mercedes. For some reason, you guys know it's technology. It's not set in stone to, you know, pick up your voice every time. But I do like the beautiful ambient lighting. This cabin is just all new for 2022. Basically, the whole car from the ground up is new for 2022. I hear a little bit of outside noise, but it's not enough that I can notice it. But, you know, just driving here, you guys can barely hear the traffic outside. But if you guys are looking for an affordable S-Class in a sense, keep in mind, this is why I say this, is because it's at a price point. It's way more affordable compared to the S-Class, which that vehicle is in a six-figure range. The C300 does offer really good value in tech, just like in the new S-Class. After spending time with the 2022 C300 sedan, Mercedes, they offered new technology for this current generation. They also made the vehicle longer and wider. They offer a new powertrain, new transmission. So basically what Mercedes-Benz did was basically gave you an affordable S-Class, because the S-Class is in the six-figure range, which is going to be very expensive for most people. But this vehicle is very affordable compared to an S-Class. It does offer the new tech, like I mentioned, new powertrain and whatnot. But hope you guys have enjoyed this review here. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at @DriveOnReviews and hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. And I see you all in the next video.